Do you wake up feeling stiff, sore, and less energetic than you used to? Do you find yourself struggling with a bit of brain fog, or perhaps aches in your joints that you've just accepted as part of getting older? What if many of these feelings are not inevitable? What if they are linked to one single silent process happening inside your body? This process is called chronic inflammation. The good news is, we have incredible power over it. You do not have to accept discomfort as your new normal. In this video, we are not going to talk about complicated diets or intense exercise. Instead, we will explore 5 simple, powerful habits you can begin today to gently calm inflammation, slow the aging process, and reclaim your sense of vitality. Before we begin with the habits, it is important to understand what we are talking about. Not all inflammation is bad. If you get a cut, the redness and swelling is acute inflammation. That is your body's amazing healing response, and it is essential. The problem, especially as we age, is chronic low-grade inflammation. Think of this as a small, silent fire that is always smoldering in the background of your body. It is a state of constant high alert. This persistent low-level stress can damage healthy cells over time. Scientists now link this process to nearly every major age-related concern, from joint pain and stiffness to heart health, cognitive decline, and even the visible signs of aging. But this is not a life sentence. Our daily choices are the most powerful tools we have to put out that fire. So, let's begin with the very first habit. First, we must nourish to flourish, and this starts on our plate. We are not talking about a restrictive, complicated diet. We are talking about integration. The goal is to gently crowd out the inflammatory foods by adding more anti-inflammatory ones. These are foods rich in antioxidants and polyphenols. Think of these compounds as your body's personal defense team. I encourage my clients to eat the rainbow. The deep, rich color of a food often signals its protective power. The deep blue of blueberries, the vibrant green of spinach, broccoli, or kale, the bright red of a bell pepper or a tomato. These are all fighting for you. And we must include healthy fats. Omega-3 fatty acids are profoundly anti-inflammatory. These are found in fatty fish like salmon, or in plant-based sources like walnuts, chia seeds, and flax seeds. You can start very small. Perhaps your first step is simply adding a handful of walnuts to your morning oatmeal. Or you can switch your primary cooking oil to extra virgin olive oil, which is full of healthy fats. At the same time, we gently reduce the foods that fuel the fire. These are primarily processed sugars, refined carbohydrates like white bread, and certain vegetable oils high in omega-6. You don't have to eliminate them forever, but simply become aware. Ask yourself, is this choice cooling me down or is it heating me up? Second, we must honor our sleep. We often view sleep as a passive state, a time when the body is just off. But the opposite is true. Sleep is perhaps the most active anti-aging and anti-inflammatory process we have. When you are in a state of deep sleep, your body is hard at work. It is repairing tissue. It is clearing out metabolic waste and toxins from your brain, a process linked to protecting memory. And crucially, it is regulating the hormones that control inflammation, like cortisol, your stress hormone. If you consistently get poor sleep, your body remains in that state of high alert we talked about. Cortisol levels stay elevated, and this directly fuels the inflammatory fire. Many people over 60 tell me that deep, restful sleep is harder to find, but we can improve it. The most important tool is routine. Try to go to bed and wake up at roughly the same time, even on the weekends. This sets your body's internal clock. Create an evening ritual that signals to your body it is time to rest. This means turning off the news and dimming the lights an hour before bed. The blue light from our phones and televisions can disrupt melatonin, your body's natural sleep hormone. Instead, read a chapter of a book, listen to calm music, or take a warm bath. Treat your sleep as the non-negotiable healing appointment that it is. Third, embrace gentle, consistent movement. When you are living with stiffness or joint pain, The last thing you may want to do is exercise. But movement is often the very best medicine. We are not talking about running a marathon or lifting heavy weights. We are talking about gentle, consistent movement that helps circulate your blood, deliver nutrients to your tissues, and flush inflammatory byproducts out. In fact, your muscles, when activated, release their own anti-inflammatory substances. Movement can literally turn off inflammatory signals at a cellular level. A simple 30-minute walk, preferably outside in nature, can do wonders for both your body and your mind. Gentle stretching, tai chi, or a simple yoga routine are also fantastic. These practices are low impact and focus on mobility and blood flow, which are essential as we age. The key here is consistency, not intensity. Find something that feels good for your body. Even activity snacks, like standing up and stretching for 2 minutes every hour, add up. Remember, a body in motion stays in motion. Fourth, we must learn to manage our stress response. This is perhaps the most overlooked, yet most critical habit. We cannot control the stressful events in the world, but we can learn to control our body's response to them. Mental stress creates a very real, very physical inflammatory response. When you are chronically worried, anxious, or watching stressful news, your body releases that same cascade of stress hormones, including cortisol. When cortisol is high all the time, it is no longer protective, it becomes destructive. It promotes inflammation in your gut, your brain, and your joints. We must find moments of peace to signal to our nervous system that we are safe. This can be incredibly simple. It can be 5 minutes each morning, sitting quietly and just focusing on your breath. When you take a slow, deep breath in and exhale completely, you are activating your parasympathetic nervous system. This is your body's rest and digest mode. It is the direct opposite of the fight or flight stress response. Just 5 deep breaths can lower cortisol almost immediately. This is not a luxury. In the modern world, it is a necessity for health. And fifth, a habit so simple it is often forgotten: proper hydration. Water is essential for every single function in your body. It is the vehicle your body uses to flush out toxins, to transport nutrients to your cells, and to lubricate your joints. When you are even mildly dehydrated, your body's systems become sluggish. Toxins can build up, and the low-grade inflammatory state can worsen. The challenge is that as we age, our natural sense of thirst can diminish. We cannot rely on thirst alone as our guide. We must be proactive. Keep a water bottle or a glass of water with you throughout the day. Start your morning with a large glass of water, perhaps with a squeeze of lemon, before your coffee. This helps to rehydrate you after sleeping. If you find plain water boring, herbal teas like chamomile, ginger, or peppermint are wonderful, hydrating, and even have their own anti-inflammatory properties. This simple act is a profound way to support your body's natural detoxification processes every single day. So there we have it. 5 foundational habits. Nourishing your body with colorful foods, prioritizing healing sleep, moving gently and consistently, managing your stress response, and staying properly hydrated. Please remember to be patient and kind to yourself. This journey is not about perfection. It is about progress. It is about choosing one small thing you can do today. Your body has a remarkable capacity to heal. By making these small, consistent choices, you are sending a powerful message of health to every cell. You are calming that internal fire, and you are paving the way for more energy, more clarity, and more vibrant years ahead. Thank you for joining us today. Be well.